Good day, I'm Andrea Chisholm and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, April 15. Effective today, persons found in possession of 2 ounces or less of ganja can no longer be arrested or detained by the police. That provision is contained in the Dangerous Drugs Amendment Act 2015, which was passed by both Houses of Parliament in February. The legislation has been brought into operation by a notice published in the Jamaica Gazette today by Justice Minister Senator Mark Golding. As a result, persons caught with 2 ounces or less of ganja can be issued a $500 ticket payable at any tax office within 30 days. They no longer face a criminal record. The same pertains for persons caught smoking ganja in public. It, however, remains a criminal offense to be in possession of more than 2 ounces of ganja, and offenders can be arrested and sentenced to a fine, imprisonment, or both if found guilty. Meanwhile, the law now allows the possession and use of ganja for scientific research, medicinal purposes, and as a religious sacrament for persons of the Rastafarian faith.
The changes represent an approach which will inure to the benefit of the persons concerned and the society as a whole, and reduce the burdens on the court system.
Industry Minister Anthony Hilton says the previously announced $5 billion investment in Jamaica's Logistics Hub initiative will be signed next Monday, April 20. The minister, who first announced the signing at the Jamaica Investment Forum, told Parliament yesterday that it would take the form of a Memorandum of Understanding.
A Memorandum of Understanding will be signed with a consortium of European and US interests. This is the earliest possible date for all parties involved. Mr. Speaker, the MOU will allow detailed discussion to commence between representatives of the government and the Jamaican team.
Minister Hilton was making his contribution to the 2015-2016 sectoral debate. The MOU should expedite the implementation of projects under the Logistics Hub initiative, such as the Caymanas Special Economic Zone. Kingston's entry corridor leading from the Norman Manley International Airport is to be improved at a cost of $258 million. Tourism Minister Dr. Wickham McNeil made the announcement yesterday during his sectoral debate presentation in Parliament.
The passenger arrivals at Norman Manley, which is used predominantly by Jamaicans and business travelers, recorded an increase in arrivals moving from 670,000 to 700,000. That is why we plan to significantly upgrade the corridor on Windward Road from Rockford to the intersection of Mountain View Avenue.
Dr. McNeil, who opened the sectoral debate, said Kingston's entry corridor roadwork was part of a series of transformational projects to be undertaken this year by his ministry. Montego Bay Hip Strip in St. James will also be renovated. The removal of light posts and exposed electrical wiring are among the works to be conducted. And the Tourism Ministry is taking steps to prevent a fallout in visitor arrivals as a result of the United States resuming diplomatic relations with Cuba. The Tourism Minister will be addressing the matter with the Cuban government at a Commission of the Americas meeting in Haiti next month.
Additionally, Mr. Speaker, the Jamaica Tourist Board is doing a study on the effects of opening up of the Cuba to the US market, which will be ready later this year.
Dr. McNeil said that in anticipation of the U.S. policy shift, his ministry had already successfully negotiated for the Louis Crystal Cuba cruises to home port in Montego Bay. The Cuba Cruises home porting program started last year. And finally, the Economic Program Oversight Committee (EPOC) is reporting that government expects to meet the primary balance target of $121 billion at the end of March. Meeting the primary balance is a key component of Jamaica's economic reform program, which is supported by the International Monetary Fund. At a press conference on Tuesday, EPOC's co-chairman Richard Baz said that for the period April 2014 to February 2015, the primary balance was $4.6 billion below projection. This was partly due to a $3.5 billion shortfall in revenues in February as a result of the underperformance of company tax and local general consumption tax. Expenditure was also $2 billion more than budgeted due to payments made on debt obligations and the purchasing of buses for the Jamaica Urban Transit Company.
Normally, this would be a very worrying situation to have missed the primary balance target in February. But at the EPOC meeting, the Financial Secretary, who is privy to the March revenue numbers, indicates to us that based on what he has seen, we will achieve the March primary balance target of $121 billion.
In the meantime, as at March this year, Jamaica's net international reserves was approximately $900 million more than target, closing out at $2.3 billion. Inflation for February was negative 0.7%, resulting in inflation for the last 11 months to be 4.5%. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Thank you for watching.